Sometimes the best path forward is to reflect on the past.
Sometimes it works out and sometimes it don't. Sometimes you win some.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Amber and I'm your go-to guide for all things personal growth. And today we're talking about journaling. I know a lot of times journaling is something that people in my field tend to recommend as something that you can do to help you on your personal growth journey, but a lot of people don't actually know how to journal. It can be very confusing and something that feels like a challenge to do initially. So I really wanted to create a video today that simplifies the process for you. I always say if it's not simple, it's not going to be sustainable. So I want to show you how I do reflective journaling. It has really worked out for me, and it really gives me an opportunity to take a step back and reflect on how my life is going, things that are going well, things that I want to kind of improve on, things that I want to change, and also things about me personally and internally as well. It just gives me a chance to really take a moment, step back, reflect on things, and decide what I want to do next. So if you ever have felt like you are constantly on the go, you are running a marathon, but you're running in no particular direction, you don't know where you're going, then this is definitely the video for you, because I'm going to break down how being very reflective throughout this process can help guide you to determine what the next steps are for you in your life. So go ahead and grab your beverage and we're going to get into all the details. I will also be sharing some of my favorite tools that I use in order to make this process very easy, very simple, and also pretty affordable so that you're not constantly buying new journals all the time. I love my system. It definitely works. So I'll be sharing that with you as well. Now, before we get into the actual details, I wanted to talk a bit about why reflective journaling is so important and how it can positively impact your life. First things first, if you take time to do reflective journaling, it's going to help you slow down. It'll also help you learn how to process your emotions because you're creating a space for that. And you'll get to the point where you're actually learning from your life, not just living it. This is where growth begins. Sometimes we have to look back, we have to go into the past, and we have to take a moment to really be honest with ourselves if we want to grow and move forward. Also really good to help you analyze your patterns. If there are any negative patterns that you have in your life, or if there's places that you're spending too much time, people you're spending too much time with, once you actually go through this reflective process, you'll be able to make adjustments where needed. Do you absolutely love prompted journals? I think they can be super helpful, but that's not something you necessarily need, especially if you're reflecting and trying to go on this journey of growth for yourself. Sometimes the prompt may not exactly align with what you need at the moment. And so that's the beauty of being able to write freely throughout this reflective process. And it does not have to take long. I promise if you start journaling, you can gain so much clarity and you can also start the healing process and your life is going to transform. So I'm gonna switch up the setup here and then show you all what I'm using, what I'm loving, and the process that I like to go through for my monthly reflective journaling. I'm hoping y'all can still hear me. I do need both hands in order to show you all the things, but you're gonna need your phone or wherever you keep your calendar. I use the calendar on my phone, so I'm gonna hold on to that. So this is the one that I like to use. It's an A5 planner binder. I love this because once you buy it once, you don't have to buy it again. Obviously it is Louis Vuitton inspired, but I got this one on Amazon. I don't know if they still have them on Amazon, but they do have them on Etsy. I actually made a video about this planner, like my first time putting it together when I initially started my YouTube channel a few years ago. So I'll make sure that I link that video so y'all can kind of see all the different things that I use. But what I love about this is it's super cost effective. So once I bought it once, I bought like all of my inserts and the different things that I liked. I didn't have to buy it again. Like, yes, if I get bored with these, I can swap them out, but I don't necessarily have to. Every year, all I have to do is purchase this little pack, and it's less than $5 on Amazon. It's just a refill. It has all the new dates for the new year, space for notes, and all the things that you're gonna be needing. So using this has been very cost effective, but also it helps me to stay consistent because I just have this one journal. I'm not always looking for something new. And I also love to use the calendar in this as well. So I'll show you how I like to use the combo. And then lastly, you will need some stickers. I grabbed these from Amazon. This is a new brand that I'm trying out. Typically I do use this brand. They have them on Amazon. They have them at like craft stores like Michael's. I love these, but I decided I wanted something a bit more cohesive, so I'm gonna see how I like these as well. All right, let me reposition you all so you can see everything and we'll get started. So here is what it looks like right now. Obviously we are in July, so I'm just gonna go over here to July 2025. So you will need this page where your calendar is laid out, and you are also going to need the page after that where it literally has a space for your July 2025 review. This is where you're gonna do your journaling. Obviously, if you need more space, you can just add more inserts. Now, obviously, July is not over yet, so there's not much for me to reflect on. Typically, I like to do this when I'm starting the new month as a reflection for the month prior. So we're actually going to be doing the month of June for this video. Starting off on the calendar page. Now what I love about this is it's also a really fun hobby. While yes, at the same time I'm doing reflective journaling, I'm also allowing myself to have a bit of fun, play around with stickers and different colored pens. I'm only using black today, but sometimes I do like to use different colors. Whatever works for you to be able to go in and fill in my calendar. Now you may be thinking, why would I go and fill in a calendar of something that's already passed? Because it's very fun. It's like scrapbooking or a time to just kind of look back and get your mind reminded of what you did during that month, the things that you really enjoyed, the learnings that you had, without actually having to do it as you go. I'm gonna adjust a bit, bring it a little bit closer, and bring in my stickers as well. Now this is where your phone comes in. So once you have your phone, go to your calendar. So for me, I'm gonna go back to June 2025 and I'm gonna go week by week. Now, obviously you don't have to include every single thing from your calendar. Like I coach clients, so I'm not gonna put like specifically when I coached a client on this because it's more about the reflection piece, not necessarily about what I did. So if I'm starting off that first week of June, so the first thing that I had that was like part of a reflective journey was I went car shopping on the 7th. So just on my calendar, I'm gonna write in car shopping at the top. On the 8th, I actually went to my first rugby game of all things. My brother is a coach, so I went to see a rugby game with my family. So I'm just gonna write in there, rugby game with family. Then on the 9th, I actually started doing reflexology treatments again. It is a like holistic form of healing. So that was the first time I've done it in years, so I wanna make sure I put that on the calendar too. On the 11th, I had my branding photo shoot, which I cannot wait to share the pictures with you guys. YouTube will be the first place to see them. So I'm just gonna go through and finish filling this in, and then we'll talk about the next step. So once that's done, here is how the calendar looks. Obviously pretty bland and pretty boring, but now it's time to jazz it up. Let's see what this new sticker pack is all about. These are in little sheets. So it looks like they have some generalized events and then it goes into each of the months. Super cute, but you can see like little stickers and cute stuff throughout, which I love. And then obviously some more like just random cute stuff, little dental stickers, payday stickers. Love it. All right, so let's find June first. Yeah. And then we'll play around with some of the other pages as well. Now I just go through and match up the stickers, which is really fun and relaxing. I like this sticker. It says day off. I'm gonna put that here on the 30th because that was like the day that kicked off my week-long vacation from work. We had a little pre-vacay date night. So I think that's a cute sticker for there. This one says family. I'm gonna put it over here because this was actually a night that I went to my parents' anniversary dinner. So that was some family time. I also love to have one sticker that just kind of goes with the overarching theme of the month. I'll either use my quote sticker book, but this one says first day of summer, which I really like. Obviously it's not up here, but since I have some open space up there, I'm just gonna put that sticker at the top to signify that the first day of summer kicked off this month. I'm gonna finish up adding some cute stickers and then I'll show you all the final result. All right, so here's my final look so far. I love how everything came together. It's super cute, but at the same time, it's really cute and I think it's a great reflection of my month and my personality. And now it is time to actually journal. So just looking over this alone, I realized I did so much in the month of June. I literally bought my dream car. Range Rover is sitting in the garage right now and I love her. I focused a lot on my health by getting back into reflexology, going to my chiropractor, really using holistic practices to make sure that I'm feeling my best. I had a whole branding photo shoot to kind of relaunch myself as a personal brand, also using some of those photos and videos for my real estate content, which I'm excited about. Speaking of real estate, I made a huge change in the month of June. I switched over to a new brokerage and I had training for that, which I didn't even realize that was in June, which is crazy. I did really good with spending time with family. I had 2 events with family, some time also for just me and my husband. We had a really special date night before our vacation, so just like reflecting on all those things that I really got to enjoy. And of course, I made some time for myself. I had a hair appointment. I tried a new hairstyle, which if y'all are on Instagram or following me on TikTok, you'll be able to see like my vacation content and see that hairstyle, which I absolutely loved. But also I got to spend some time with friends. I went to brunch a couple of times, lunch with friends, thrifting and shopping with friends. So I feel like it was a really good, well-rounded month. But also I did some huge things, switching my real estate brokerage. I also had a really great motivational speaking engagement with Dress for Success Houston. And I did a branding photo shoot. I bought my dream car. Like all of that is so exciting and so amazing. And the fact that I haven't sat down to even think about it, I've just been kind of like rushing through life and taking it as it goes, is why it's so important to make time for reflective journaling. So now I'm gonna turn the page, and I'm probably gonna need more space than this, but pretty much I'm gonna use this entire section for my June review to just really reflect on how things went and just write about it. Like if I'm talking to a friend, like, hey girl, I achieved some really great things in June, or basically how I'm talking to y'all now. That's what you do when you're writing. You're just basically yapping and talking about what you did, but you also have like this blueprint laid out in front of you. Like if I forget, like, wait, did I have a motivational speaking engagement? Let me go back. Oh yeah, I did. It was on the 21st. It was a Dress for Success. It was really great. And that gives me something to be able to reflect on and write about how I felt, how great it was to be able to impact the women in that space. Also, it was like a special moment because the location where I gave the motivational speaking engagement at was actually across the street from my old job that I absolutely hated. And so it's just like a full circle moment, being able to see how hard I worked and how I've gotten to a completely new place, just based on the fact that I decided to go for it. So that's pretty much the process of reflective journaling. The calendar piece is so important because it helps you remember the things that you did, but it's also really fun, really cutesy, girly, like just time to be able to spend with yourself and do a little hobby while at the same time taking some moments to reflect. So I'm literally gonna go week by week, but I'm gonna start off with my like main points. So gosh, I feel like I would say at the start of June, like, wow, you did it, is literally my first sentence that I'm writing on here. And then I'm just gonna go into details. So I'm gonna say like, you set a goal to buy your dream car, to be successful in real estate, to give motivational speeches, to get professional branding shots, and to still focus on your health and wellness. And you did it all. So that's just kind of like a little initial note that I'm writing to myself. And then I'm gonna go in and just go week by week, kind of reflecting on the things that I did and why it was so special to me. I would also write down anything I learned about myself throughout that process. Like this month I made a lot of time for family, which I feel like is really important. So I wanna kind of write about that process and what that means to me, why it was important to me. And so really just reflecting, also talking about like getting back into reflexology. How am I feeling? What were the differences? So that I could just really think about these things and reflect on these things while they're fresh in my mind. So I'm gonna finish wrapping up the month of June. Obviously I'm not gonna show you all the entire section of notes, but I really hope it was helpful for you to kind of see like how to go about this process of looking back at your month, making time for reflection, and really speaking it to yourself in a positive way, but giving yourself the space to also be very honest and very vulnerable with how things went for you. Celebrating your wins, celebrating things that obviously didn't go so well. Like yes, there were a ton of really great moments in June, but June was also really, really difficult for me in a lot of other ways as well. And so I'll be able to kind of write through all of those things. Now, I'm not necessarily gonna go put on my calendar like this day was bad, you cried. But if it was like something about my real estate switching, like why I switched brokerages, that was like a really difficult couple of weeks for me, like deciding what to do, moving around, why I decided to leave, how I felt throughout that process. So I just want to take a moment to really reflect on all of that, think it through, and also think about like how it made me feel, the emotional connection, and also what I learned from it, how I grew from it, and how I came out better on the other side. So I hope this is some great inspiration for you guys. Thank you so much for reviewing the month of June with me. I hope you'll try this out. I am gonna I need to revamp my links because I linked this stuff so long ago. So I'm gonna go find all the most recent things and make sure I have it linked for you all and put it in the description box down below. But if you'll have any more questions, need more clarity, I am happy to answer them for you. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.